Hey everybody, welcome to Bill Ball Field on the campus of Exeter High School in beautiful Exeter, New Hampshire on a wonderful April day. This is Rich McDonough for the Highlight Guy, and we're proud to present you NHIAA D1 Boys Lacrosse Top Shelf here. And let's say hello to our sponsor. Today's conversation with the coach, Matt Brewster, is brought to you by Earth Tech Systems. Their goal is to save you time and money. So go to earthtechsystems.com to learn all about their green geothermal HVAC technology. Matt Brewster, we haven't talked in about a year. It's nice to have fresh lines on the field and get going in the season. How do you guys feel so far?
We feel good. Yeah, we're it's still early. We got some new guys that are stepping into some new roles, and so right now we're learning, and we just we've played some tough competition to start the year.
Without a doubt.
And that's a good thing for us. It shows us what we need to work on and things that that we can fix and adjust moving forward here.
Missing, some serious firepower gone from last season's team. Are we reloading or rebuilding? What do you say?
I'd say we're reloading.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got some younger guys that are stepping into some bigger roles, and they've been doing great. Our senior class between Tyler Bland and Jackson Green and Marshall Lazowitz, obviously committed to Air Force Academy. They've been great. They've been good leaders for us. They've been able to kind of keep the tempo, and it's been great. We have Will McElroy at the X for us.
It's fantastic.
I think he's been 65-70% every game we've played so far, or just about. So we're looking forward to him getting going. And
you said something that's on my mind at the face-off dot. Now, back in the X, where I played, X means something different these days. Between Paolo and McElroy, we could have a nice tall battle today.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I hope he's counting on it, right?
Absolutely. And that's what we're here to see. We want to see we want to play the best teams, and we want our kids to play the best players, and it's going to be a great battle for them.
New goalies this year after having complete stud goalies the last couple seasons, and my son among them. How do you see that shaping up here today?
We've got a pretty tight, even battle between our two goalies. So they're kind of competing in practice right now, but on both sides, obviously both teams are really strong, and I think it's going to come down to possessions and not throwing the ball away, and taking care of the rock. Unforced
errors make us coaches hair gray, right, Coach?
That's it.
All right, hey, we were with Matt Brewster today. This is Rich McDonough for the Highlight Guy. Matt, thank you for your time.
Thanks.
Stay healthy, my friend.
Yeah, you too.
All right. Thanks. Hey everybody, Rich McDonough once again with the Highlight Guy, and let's say today's conversation with the coach, Coach Cameron, as usual for BG, is brought to you by Earth Tech Systems. Their goal is to save you time and money. So go to earthtechsystems.com to learn all about their green technology. That's geothermal HVAC technology at the experts. Well, as I said, not surprising, it's Coach Cameron, on camera that is, but it's Brian Cameron now. How you feeling first year?
Feeling good, excited. Feeling good, excited for tonight's game, and hopefully get our first win tonight.
Right, and I think the message, you and I got to talk briefly yesterday, we want to start hot today if you're wearing green and gold, right?
Yeah, we're going to pressure them, let our presence be felt right away throughout the game, especially early on.
Tough loss the other day to St. John's Prep Danvers, experienced team, physical. What do you take away from that you can add here today?
We took away a lot. It's been a week of self-reflection, and we added and changed a bunch of things, and hopefully it'll be a better product out here tonight.
Okay. After goaltending riches on both teams the last couple of years, we start with some fresh faces in the cage. What are we going to see tonight?
Jonah's our guy. He's great. He's athletic. He's quick, and he's a hard worker, and the best is yet to come for him.
And he's wearing Murph's 19.
He is. It's a legacy now.
All right, Coach Cameron. Glad to see you as Coach Cameron. Good best of luck tonight. Thanks, fellas. Green.
Tebow. He's running all the way back to the left of the 5-yard line, stretches it out. That's Anthony D. He gets out to the 25. He breaks another tackle to the 30, the 35, the 40, 50, the 45, the 40, 30, 25. There's nobody near him.
No flags.
What a play!
Anthony D goes the distance. D stands for distance.
Come the Clippers. On the low block, kick out, downtown, Yahtzee!
By Landry, double 0, 0-on-0. Caruso from downtown knocks down a triple.
Pitch. Face hit left field. Austin Suchecki gets it done.
In front of the goal mouth, they jump for it. The header finds the back of the net. Hadley Camo with a spectacular play.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Highlight Guys presentation of NHIAA D1 Boys Lacrosse. Today we are at the campus of Exeter High School in Exeter, New Hampshire on a gorgeous, gorgeous third week of April day here at Bill Ball Stadium, where the defending champs, the four-time defending champ, Bishop Guertin Cardinals, come to visit the Exeter Bluehawks in what has become in the last few years of lacrosse here in New Hampshire one of the marquee battles. You circle this one on the calendar every year in advance. Let's talk about the defending champs. They started out 0-1. They had just one game last week to start the regular season, where other teams had a bunch. And they lost that one to St. John's Prep down in Danvers, Massachusetts, 13-5. That's a good team they played. This year is a rebuilding team, reloading team, more like it. And they come in at 0-1, but they are ranked number 1 in the NHHSS lacrosse poll, and that's for the second week in a row. Again, they are the four-time defending champs. And big change. It is still Coach Cameron, but it is not Chris Cameron on the sidelines, although he is on the sidelines right there. He has turned the keys over to Brian Cameron, his son, who was an All-American, played at North Carolina and Rutgers. For their part, the Bluehawks are 2-2, and, of course, 2-2 in the state. They're number 4 in the New Hampshire High School Sports Poll this week. They beat Windham 19-4. They beat Concord 19-4, but then they lost to Bedford 16-18, and yesterday they dropped one to Bill Ricca 15-9. And these two teams saw each other three times last year. BG got all three of them, 2 a week apart in the middle of the season, and they beat Exeter 17-8 in the quarterfinals, and again went on to win the championship. Going to have a great face-off battle here. All-American player in Paolo Vasquez for the green and gold. He's headed to UMBC on the other side of the field. Will McElroy, terrific player, originally committed to St. Mike's, but God bless him. He's headed to Army, not to play lacrosse, but to get a great education at West Point and serve this country. All right, here we are, 12 minutes in the quarters in boys and girls lacrosse. If you've been watching college ball, you see 15 minutes. There's no shooting clock. All right, wearing my son Mike McDonough's old number is Ponto, number 14. That is a big cannon, monster wind-up for the Lemoyne-bound Owen King. And not even a minute in. In fact, it's 49 seconds in. It is 1-0 Cardinals. With a message, I talked to Brian Cameron and Coach Matt Brewster before him. Matt Brewster coaching the Bluehawks. Each of them wanted to get out fast, but in particular Brian Cameron. They were a little disappointed by their first results against that very tough, very athletic, and physically built St. John's Prep Danvers team. They was close for a while, and Prep was able to put that one away. But he really wanted to get out of the game hot, and one way you do it is number 2-5 at the face-off dot. He just drew a flag. That'll be going to Will McElroy. Probably going to be a slash. Way too much contact on that free hand right there. That not so much a free hand, but he was walking the dog. That means holding that stick out in front of you so you can't get checked. And a little bit too much punishment on the way in. And again, on the strength of that Owen King goal, with only 48 seconds in, it is 1-0 BG. This one trickles out of bounds, or almost out of bounds, picked up right there by Jeremy Warren. He's a captain this year, wearing number 22. I coached him in youth ball. That's a good catch in traffic and a good roll out by Sean McGarry, another Hollis Brookline kid. McGarry's shot misses wide, and we'll get that call. .10:25 on the clock. BG already will see its first man-up opportunity. That'll go 6-5. And yeah, the penalty did go to McElroy. So he'll take a knee for quite a bit here. BG will spin it, get out and into some rhythm. Try to pick the lock. Oh, King was looking at the goal before he looked that one in. Got to look it in first, young man. All right, that's a good ground ball in traffic initially. Oh, and a nice feed down on the doorstep. And a good save right there by the guy who replaced Lechner in the goal, and that's Ronan Wilbur. And he got up high, stayed low first. Oh, and that one rockets off the pipe. A big shot right there by Ponto. He gets the ball back as it caroms all the way back outside. That was a 25-yard ricochet. And McGarry gives it up. They go below X, looking to create. That's a pretty good knockdown right there. Good defense for his own part by Fletcher Nouveau, the talented senior defender. But this one goes right back to Ponto, and number 14 gets himself a goal. That'll make it 2-0. Man up, 9:31 remaining in the first period. BG did exactly what Coach Cameron, Brian Cameron, I'm going to have a hard time getting used to that. Brian Cameron said is, let's get out of the gate hot and not look back, unlike looking up where they did the other night. So, yeah, they want a fast start is my keys to the game. Got to have a good game at Fogo. That means face-off, get-off. We're at the face-off dot right now. And a couple of fellas who can really get it done. But, again, Vasquez, who just picked, that was a beautiful ground ball, more like an air ball, but he's going to UMBC, D1. I'm an old Maryland boy, and those fellas down there in Catonsville know how to play. All right, rolls out of bounds, 19-19 here in our first quarter at Bill Ball Stadium. Keys, if you're Coach Matt Brewster's Bluehawks, don't want to be intimidated by the four-time defending champs. It's a new year for both teams. You're physical, you're fast, and you play your coach's system, and stick with it. Stick with it. Sure, you're down 2-0, but get into the game, get going. But Lasowitz has to lead the crew on offense. And Lasowitz wearing number 11 out there, senior midfielder. This one picked up by Avery Whitehead in the background off that drop. Another kid, Avery Whitehead, he's headed to Lake Forest out in the Chicago area. They're doing good things at the D3 level, getting into the NCAAs last year. And I got to tell you, one of my college teammates, his son is the captain at Lake Forest. Makes you feel good, but it makes you feel old. All right, the highlight guy, presentation of NHIAA D1 Lacrosse. My man Steve Cody is the highlight guy. This is Rich McDonough. Happy to be bringing you all the action. All right, BG on its third offensive possession, looking to spin it around. Gets off the stick of Jackson Warren, Jeremy's little brother. Jeremy has the ball right now. Oh, that one was just a loose ball, and staying with it. Good job staying with it. Good hand-eye was Pascal. He redirects, gets it back to his goalie. That's wise. Kids, remember, you can go two directions on this field. Don't always have to go north once you get a ground ball. Oh, that was a little high pass. Playing the miss was BG. Oh, and that's a big monster hit right there. Clean by Nouveau. And they blow the whistles. Warren took the big hit right there. And they did throw a flag. Warren was looking the other way, and I bet you they're going to call unnecessary roughness. It's just a question of it's a minute, two, whether it's locked in or not. Hey, and while we're doing that, stay up to date with all the Highlight Guys' upcoming live streams. Just go subscribe to our YouTube channel and never miss out on the games that you want to see. Just go to YouTube, search the Highlight Guy, hit subscribe, and we sure thank you in advance. When you hit subscribe, we can bring you more and more action and better action all the time. So it's just a common 1-minute foul right there. That's a personal foul, unnecessary roughness, not locked in or anything like that. All right, so BG with its second man-up opportunity of the day. Everybody at goal line extended or better, or up north of that, I like to say. There's Ponto. He dishes back to McGarry. McGarry takes a look outside, then in, and a big wheel right there by Cam Hayden, the Penn State-bound Cam Hayden. With that two-man above the GLE setup, nobody was behind and ready to chase that ball to the end line. Consequently, it goes over to the Bluehawks. All right, Bluehawks looking to clear, even strength clear. And they do a good job getting in and right there. Good set up their offense. Play a little keep away right now. Put your fast runners. And they're playing 5-on-6 at the moment until they release that penalty. And in the box right there was Jackson Green. He was all D1 second team last year wearing number 15. And here he comes. .6:48 in the clock, 2-zip on the scoreboard right here, and finally getting into the action when it was released. My bad, was Sam Gibney. I called the first sub out as the release. Not so. Gibney comes onto the field. Good harassing defense by Avery Whitehead right there on the end line. Gibney's able to pick that one up, but I think he didn't clip his toenails, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, he's out of bounds. That's a turnover. It's going back to the fellas in green and gold. All right, carrying the ball with some good speed is J.P. Dunsmore. I'll tell you, every Dunsmore, no matter who, can run the ball. They're all like long-distance runners. They run the dirt roads in Hollis. You got All-Americans as his older brothers playing at St. A's. And J.P. can do it. His another older brother is playing at 5th-ranked RPI right now and doing great things for the Engineers. All right, 6:05 on the clock, 2-zip on the scoreboard here with the highlight guys presentation of NHIAA D1 Boys Lacrosse. All right, BG with its 4th settled offensive possession here, not EMO. They had 2 of those and got 1 out of 2 successfully in the back of the net. All right, bounce shot went wide right there for Beau Dubois. Oh, that's a good head fake and a move by Ponto. He directs Warren to go up the slot. Warren was looking at the cage too. All right, early in the season, later in the season, they'll be looking the ball into the buckets first and then shooting. Big windup from the right wing right there. Goes high and wide, 5:25 on the clock. Stays with BG as they are first to the end line when and where the ball goes out of bounds. That is the rule. Oh, that's a good low shot and a great take right there by Sean McGarry. So the Hollis guys are getting it done early. BG is up 3-zip at the 5:19 mark. And early action has gone all BG's way, and it starts with the face-off dot here. And Paulo Vasquez going up against Will McElroy. Vasquez, this is why he's going D1. What a great lockdown. And don't give up on that ball, McElroy. He sure didn't. He creates a 50-50 ball, but maybe got a little push from behind right there. Loose ball push, not a foul, not a penalty, but it is a foul. So it goes back to the fellas in green and gold, 5:10 on the clock, looking for their next full possession. This will be their 5th of the game. Got 3 goals to show for it. All right, BG's going to spin it around the perimeter, get into some rhythm. Going to the crease right there is Jack Redfern, and that's a good way to come up with it right there in the cage by Ronan Wilbur. And an errant pass out to the left side. BG plays the miss, and they look to get it back in. Oh, that was too tall, too high for the good player, Noah Guerrera, senior captain. He's going to play at Florida Tech. 4:40, Exeter get the ball back on that unforced turnover. And carrying the ball downfield is Marshall Lazowitz again. Headed to Air Force, all-state player. He had 7 goals in his opening game, folks. All right, carrying behind deep at the X is Green. Green elevates to goal line extended. You'll hear me call that GLE. That is a line that goes across the goal mouth for 6 feet and then goes out to each sideline. Goal line extended. It helps us know where we are on the field. Oh, that's a big windup and a good take right there by the sweeping Tyler Bland, senior attacker. And that's a good look. Keep going, Tyler Bland. One of those will drop eventually. All right, heavy physical checking, all from the front or the side. That's just fine. No call sometimes is the good call. In fact, many times it's the right call. All right, Karen way out top is Jackson Green. He looks to hit the reset switch, tries to pick the lock from the left side. So if you're a lot of firepower gone from this Exeter Bluehawks team. You're missing Burnich, Williams. I coach Williams and Smith. They're gone. Smith playing at St. A's, and Owen Williams is down at Jacksonville. You miss those guys, but you got to keep going. Stick with Coach Brewster's offense and his defensive scheme and stay working out. No, there's a big windup, and that ain't going anywhere but the back of the net for Alex Kerrigan. 3:22. That was an awesome possession by the Bluehawks. And yeah, 3:22 remaining in our first quarter. The Bluehawks finally get themselves in the back of the net and on the scoreboard. 3-1, folks. Going back to the dot, we'll see familiar foes. These guys are going to know each other painfully well by the end of the day. They certainly had 3 games against each other last year that were really exciting. All right, Vasquez gets that clamp and rolls around, pivots. McElroy stays with it. Big shot saved nicely right there. Wow. Didn't see initially what happened there. Good save by Vasquez, not Feliciano, but it ricocheted off left, then went right opposite field. It is down to the attacking end of the field for BG as they get their next line in. 2:44 on the clock, 3-1 on the scoreboard in favor of the visitors from Nashua. Here's McGarry, tries it out briefly, goes below GLA, looking to get across, and that's the X. The X is the area we call deep behind the goal or just behind the goal. Great place to set up shop and look topside when heads are turns, get everybody turned around. Oh, that's a big windup right there, missing the cage. Was Ponto one more time. He has a real good windup there, folks, and when he lets it go, there are vapor trails on the back of that thing. Bouncing outside away from pressures, Cam Hayden. I said earlier, he's going to Penn State. Watch number 6, can play attack or midi. And the Nittany Lions, who are ranked number 7th in the country, are going to like having him. All right, we're under 2 minutes here at Bill Ball Stadium at Exeter. Another big windup right there by Owen King. I said he's going to Lemoyne. They elevated to Division I recently, but I believe they're headed back down to D2, the Dolphins. Of course, you got Dolphins in the middle of New York. That's a great look. And then a beautiful pass down the slot to the quickly elevating Cam Hayden, the aforementioned Penn State-bound fella. And that no-look pass coming down from the top side allowed Hayden to catch that ball loaded in his left hand. And when I say loaded, it means he caught it in shooting position. 4-1. Bishop Guetin Cardinals defending champs on top here at Exeter. 1:40 on the clock in the first period. Beautiful look away, wonderful feed, terrific catch and finish. That's how you get it done. All right, there's Vasquez taking the ball, gets it over to McGarry. He backs out of trouble. Pretty good defense right there by Jackson LaRanger to flush his man outside. McGarry's a crafty player wearing number 4. Watch him. He's good footwork. He can spin. He can put it in both hands, and then he's quick. Very good quick step. So if there's a ground ball, look for number 4 to be right there in the mix. Here goes Ponto, wearing number 14. Like I said, he's wearing my son's old number. Mike McDonough, who was a goalie here for 4 years. Now at UVA. Putting in his offhand right there is Beau Dubois. Takes a big hard hit and it draws a laundry one more time. And I think we're going to get a cross check here. 51 seconds on the clock. And Exeter's going to the box one more time. So, folks, if you have your hands spread pretty far apart, think of a bicycle grip, and you deliver a thrusting blow out front without your fists together, it's easy pickings for a ref. I'm a ref as well. It's just too easy when you do that. You can't get into this equal pressure analysis too often. It just happens in a heartbeat. The flags are going to fly. So, 1 minute penalty for the Exeter Bluehawks. That's their 3rd penalty of the period. And 50 seconds on the clock. Man up again for Bishop Guetin. All right, everybody's real packed in tight, so Bishop Guetin walks it in themselves. Be some quick passes, got to handle in traffic right here. That's a big step and a big windup right there for Beau Dubois. He's another Lemoyne-bound guy. He was D1 second team All-State last year himself. Number 20. All right, back there handling is Hayden. Good point guard. Keeps his chin up, and a big windup right there one more time for Beau Dubois. Misses the cage, goes out of bounds. 20 seconds on the clock. Probably about 4 seconds left on, 4 seconds difference between that and the penalty. BG was sizzling it around the perimeter. If they finish with possession at the whistle, they will start with the ball, but they don't want that. It ricochets off the pipe, and what I was about to say, folks, is if they start with possession with the ball and during a man-up opportunity, they'll start with possession and no face-off. But hey, let's talk about Earthtech Systems, which is a premier provider of heat pump technology with a strong specialization in geothermal HVAC systems. By championing energy efficiency and sustainability, say that 10 times fast, their innovation solutions not only prioritize environmental benefits, but also help the customers save significantly on energy costs. Whether you're considering a new heat pump system or repairs, their skilled team is ready to handle even the most complex projects. So learn more about their cutting-edge designs and unmatched expertise at earthtechsystems.com. And also, many thanks to Bouvier Prepare, BG family friends, but also doing a lot of great stuff for our New Hampshire kids. They provide comprehensive college recruiting consulting services for student athletes and their families. So if you're looking for guidance in the process for lacrosse, field hockey, soccer, and volleyball, Bouvier Prepare can provide personalized plans for success. So contact them at Bouvier, Bouvier, prepare @gmail.com, or dial them up, 603-465-1102. Finally, if you like what you're seeing and hearing with our live stream, sure hope you are, and you think you'd like to learn more and advertise with us, advertise with the Highlight Guy, and just want more information, email Steve at thehighlightguy.com. And Steve at the Highlight Guy. The Highlight Guy is all one word, no hyphens, no dots, no nothing other than good information and a good opportunity to advertise on the Highlight Guy and help us bring you more live streaming of high school sports here in the state of New Hampshire. Occasionally we might drift off into Massachusetts, possibly Rhode Island. We're working on that deal. Steve Cody's the man. I'm Rich McDonough, joining him, as we've done so often in the first couple weeks, Steve, as NHIAA, the compressed New Hampshire lacrosse schedule. I look back at my old stomping grounds in Maryland. Most of those teams are through 10, 11, 12 games. I coached St. John's down there in the DMV, which means I had to game plan for Paul Rabel more times than I care to admit. Great player. Obviously, I got to see history in the making right there. All right, we're back with a fresh 12 on the clock here at Eustace Field, Bill Ball Stadium at Exeter High School in Exeter, New Hampshire. It's 4-1 for the four-time defending champion, Bishop Guertin Cardinals, who come in. Ooh, nice handle off the low pass by Marshall Lazowitz. That is why he's going D1 himself, ladies and gentlemen. Number 11 can play the game. All right, Exeter gets a much-needed possession to start things off. As I said, Ed, BG hung on to that ball near the end. They almost got a goal, ricocheted off the crossbar. Had they had possession with a man up and possession, you get to start the next period with no face-off and with possession, which is a wonderful luxury, and you saw that Exeter won that face-off. Critical. All right, here comes the hard-charging Tyler Bland. I've seen him cut and sweep a number of times. That one no good. 11:17 on the clock. Going wide. And Jonah Feliciano, the inheriting goal, he inherited more than just the goaltending position from Will Murphy. He inherited his number. Coming a legacy number, as Coach Brian Cameron said. Number 19, Will Murphy, off and running. I got to coach him as goalie to goalie myself, along with my son Mike. And Will is playing at Bryant, joining his brother JJ down there, who's an awesome face-off guy. All right, 10:50 on the clock in the second quarter here at Exeter. So far, it's been mostly BG. That ricochets looks like off of J.P. Dunsmore in tight, strong defensive midi. Whenever I see number 7, I think of Caleb Young, who is getting it done, having a great year as a freshman out at Stony Brook. Terrific midi, was the offensive player of the year. Oh, a little bit of yard sale right there, and a big lift check right there by Tyler McLeod. And boy, the hollering from the BG bench was, you could hear that 2 blocks away, forget just up the stands. That was a great lift check, a little bit of a yard sale going on. All right, carrying it out, that's Hunter Duani, another kid I've had the pleasure to coach. He's wearing number 23. Watch him, incredible athlete. That kid can run all day. He's coming off the sidelines right now for Ponto, but when 2-3 gets in the game, physical, fast, can turn on a dime. Oh, Ponto can't handle it. Goes down to the deck, and the hunt ensues. That's a good job in tight by the Exeter defensive core right there, and they get out to the races. Too low to keep the momentum going by Alex Scott. Consequently, everybody in green is able to get back home. 9:50 on the clock, 4-1 in favor of BG here in the second period. All right, getting inside, the talented Tyler McLeod wearing number 17 for BG. At your LSM, that means long stick midfielder. That means you get the long pole. You got 4 poles out there and 2 shorties, we call them, regular size midi sticks, attack sticks, short stick defenders. That is an art and a science these days. They have special categories for all Americans and all conference, as it should be. That is not merely a gadget player. All right, the great sweeps. I've seen a couple out of by Pat Hathaway right there. He gets topside. Oh, and some harassing checking going on right there by Noah Guerrera, one of those senior captains. 6 senior captains here for Bishop Guertin. And he does a good job harassing, impeding that shot. And that is a long bomb, kind of a midpoint release. Ends up a low shot, almost a worm burner, but certainly a bounce shot right there. Yeah, and that was number 14, Sam Gibney. We mentioned here, he's a first-year player, freshman. And I've seen some good athleticism out of him early. Good old number 14 has been getting topside, and he did that in a hurry. Great job by Sam. He gets to the rack, and with 8:59 left in the second, it is 4-2. And back to the dot we go. Guerrero wins this one clean and gets low and mean and gets it out of dodge, gets the green space where he can set up the offense for Coach Cameron. All right, you see substitutions going on. They run to the midline, shortest distance between 2 points. You get there first and then get your subs out of the box. And Ponto comes in to do the duties. And BG, here comes one more sub. It's an art and a science as well. Finally getting off the field is Paulo Vasquez. And getting in for him is Cam Hayden. All right, carrying the ball right there is Beau Dubois. He gives it up topside. Comes all the way over to the left side wing. Hayden with a big rip right there, goes out of bounds. And Warren is closest to the ball back there, and he'll start us off. Yet another one of those senior captains, Jeremy Warren, wearing 22. Here comes Hayden looking to wind up, and he hit a screen. Oh, yeah, that is savvy, high IQ play. Cam Hayden. So what happened was the defense rotated back in to cover him face-to-face. Fletcher Naveau, who's a rangy player, and he provided his own screen. While they're setting up shop, let's talk about Earth Tech Systems again, the local premier heating and cooling technology company. Their goal is to save you time and money. They specialize in geothermal HVAC systems, so for your heating or cooling needs, contact the experts at earthtechsystems.com. No install or repair is too challenging for the experts in green HVAC technology. While we're at it, are you looking to play sports in college? If yes, we got a timeout on the field. Let the highlight guy help you get noticed and recruited. We create highlight videos, film sporting events, and live stream, all with the goal of helping athletes get noticed by college coaches. So, with the highlight guy, you are the star. Let us help you. Go to thehighlightguy.com or email steve@thehighlightguy.com to get started. Fellas are going to take 60 seconds. I'm going to get some Hall's Mentholyptus. Rich McDonough for the highlight guy. See you in a few.
Wow. No shortage of action.
Hi, this is Terry Queenan from Earth Tech Systems Geothermal. We're in Nashua, New Hampshire today. We just finished putting geothermal in this historical home built in 1937. Let's go in and check it out. We're now inside the house. These are the 2 well lines coming in. There's one 500-foot borehole. This is the piping. This is the flow center that moves the water to the geothermal unit, which is over here. This is a very simple, high-efficiency system made by water furnace. This is the return duct, and we have the unit in place here. This is the water furnace 7 series that's in this home. This is the return air filter. Those are the pipes coming from the non-pressurized flow center. The blower is on the top, the compressor's on the bottom. Very quiet machine. This is a storage tank that makes very warm water. The water goes from this point into an on-demand tankless when there's a call for showers, cooking, etc. So not only is the customer going to save an immense amount of money, they're going from about a $1,300 a year oil bill to be on target right now for about a $300 geothermal bill, and the well is directly under me. If you'd like to learn more, check us out on our website, earthtechsystems.com.
All right, everybody, welcome back from our timeout. 7:59 here in the second period at Eustis Field on the campus of Exeter High School in Exeter, New Hampshire. The visiting 4-time defending champions, Bishop Guetin Cardinals, are up 5-2 in an action-packed game so far. And so far, we had talked about it early, pre-game, you will see. And the big deal today, the big battle, was at the face-off dot. So far, whenever a team has been controlling the face-off, they're kind of controlling the flow of the game. Exeter started out with the face-off in that second period. Great job right there. They got the first goal of the period, consequently. And the looks like the refs down on the far side of the field to our right. Steve Cody not only is the highlight guy, but he produces everything, does the volume, edits, and occasionally keeps us well fueled with Gatorade. But, yeah, they're doing some repairs on the net, and the officials sort that one out. And back to the dot we go. Again, 7:59 on the clock, 5-2 in the scoreboard in favor of Bishop Guetin as we get going out of the timeout. Great face-off right there by McElroy. Boy, Exeter, and they gave him a huge hand. They needed it. But the loose ball, unforced error, goes out of bounds. Back to BG we go. And I've said it in so many broadcasts as a 30-plus year coach myself and a guy who played goalie at Fairfield and Georgetown. Unforced errors, unforced turnovers, they make your hair gray. But that's a great check right there. Wow! And running into the middle of the field was J.P. Dunsmore. Not what you want to do, because if you take a turnover right there, you'll see what happens. And it was all over but the crying once it hit the carpet. 5-3. Exeter has taken that lead from 4-1 to 5-3. Terrific job riding, but we got to think that one through better if you're JP. Don't want to get it into that center of the field. Just keep it outside, keep your spacing, get your 2-on-1s, get it upfield, young man. All right, much needed face-off win right there by Vasquez, another one of those senior captains. And he gets it back deep to Jeremy Warren below GLE, and then back up top to Owen King. BG content to let everybody sub on. They didn't want to try it right there because most of the fellas for the Bluehawks were back in tight. All right, one last sub coming in. That'll be Michael Ponto, hockey player as well. And again, one of those senior captains. Finally, Vasquez gets over and off. And I'll tell you what, Exeter jumped the gun right there. Nobody wearing black and white was looking. That's the right time to be offsides. All right, still, it's BG ball. They're looking to spin it. Top side, they got two in the middle. Convent and 1-4-1. A big, hot cannon windup right there by Hayden. That one ricochets off. Exeter wanted that ball. Nothing doing. It stays with BG at the 6:44 mark. BG back into that 1-4. That means one behind, one up top, and four kind of across the middle. Ooh, and another big one. Boy, they got some big lefties. BG always does. That one comes up sizzling off of Beau Dubois' stick. And Warren Trusty on the back line as well. Stays with BG. They get another look-see. After a while, folks, the D can get gassed. And that's, if you're BG, that's possession. Here comes a flag. Warren has escorted down to the earth. If you have the ball in your pocket, folks, with control, and you get pushed from behind, not from the sides, not from the front, but from behind, and you get, if it's an unequal pressure situation It'll be a 30-second penalty. Back to the 6-on-5, go the Cardinals. They're 1 for 3 so far today, looking to make it 2 for 4. Last time they were man up was right before the second half ended, and they rung one off the crossbar as hard as you can ring it. All right, so it's a 30-second penalty for a push. McGarry gets it back to the X. All the guys, look for the middies way up high. They're trying to pick the lock and get a little mismatch. Find your seams. There you go. You got a crow hop opportunity. Whoop, and there's that look-away pass that was successful. This time it's not. Unable to handle it was Cam Hayden right there, but they took their look. Look, it's about generating good looks at the cage. They don't all go in. Wow, some serious speed right there by Alex Scott. Looking like a wide receiver more than a midi, and the senior does his job. And my guess is that BG was offsides on that rotation. Might have been McGarry on the far side, but flags fly. They pick them up for the moment, but we got another timeout. All right, the fellas are going to take a timeout. We'll sort that out. And Rich McDonough for the highlight guy. See you on the backside of this one.
Meet Bouvier Prepare, your game changer in college athletics recruitment. We cut through the chaos, focusing on superb communication and top-notch organization. One-on-one attention, tailored strategies, and a winning game plan for emails, calls, camps, visits, and offer closings. Be prepared. Your limitless future starts now with Bouvier Prepare.
And welcome back from that timeout. Hey, one more time, if you're looking to buy or sell, invest real estate, talk to Deb Cody from the Dow Group at Keller Williams Coastal. She's a luxury realtor. Deb is licensed in Maine, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and can assist you with your real estate goals. The Dow Group is #1 real estate team in New Hampshire. Contact Deb at 603-945-2763 or email deb@thedowgroup.com. And we did sort that one out. Yep, just as we thought. It was Michael Ponto offside by a toenail. Number 14, that's a 30-second penalty. Push. Exeter is on man up one more time. Got to get in quickly into your moves here because you only got 30 seconds, unlike the 1-minute penalty. And 30 seconds goes really quickly. A couple passes, and you could be halfway down the clock. That's a big windup and a big bounce shot. Way to go, high to low, changing planes. Tyler Bland on the EMO makes it 5-4. Exeter looked like it was struggling a bit early, but they sure have found their rhythm and bounced back with 3 straight goals to cut that lead down. Tyler Bland with a beautiful change of planes. That means he's got his pocket up high. The goalie has to read it, and he goes down low, bounces it. And I always said when I'm a goalie and I was coaching the goalies, it kind of makes you have to make 2 saves. You have to read the down shot, and then you have to read where the ball's going to hit and bounce. And then sometimes on these turf fields, it'll hop with a little English on it, and then you're looking 2 inches, sometimes 6 inches sideways. That's a real good play by numero 32 right there, Tyler Bland. Props, young man. 5-4 at the 4:45 mark for Exeter with some momentum here. All right, carrying down the slot right there. Good speed, showing his own. Sam Gibney with that real good goal earlier. Good freshman player right there for Coach Matt Brewster. Wide open right now. We got another flag, another delayed penalty will go on BG. Oh, and catching it loaded. Wow. Coming across, over-under move right there. Catching it loaded was Marshall Lasowitz. And that, folks, no doubt, tie them up. 4:13 on the clock. We are knotted at 5. It was 4-1. Exeter has shown that it's got some mojo, and it's willing to play its way back into this game. A couple timeouts ago, Matt Brewster kept his team on the sidelines an extra 15, 20 seconds, and kind of looked like a prayer meeting down there. And whatever he was saying, bring it on. Good job by Coach Brewster righting the ship in the second period. 5-5, folks. We got game. All right, defending champs going back on the offside, on the offense. We tick under 4 minutes. Carrying the ball right there is, again, Beau Dubois. He goes way deep. And he's carrying Will McElroy way deep with him. And McElroy is your Fogo, so he's kind of stuck playing defense for now. But he's a real good athlete, headed D1 for a good reason. He'll be fine. They've got him just stuck back there, trying to maroon him on the island. Get some help right there from Alex Scott. We mentioned him a moment ago. He's real fast. And they're able to get McElroy back inside, bury the shorty by the crease, and take your shot on defense. But BG knows what they're doing. They're going to keep him on defense as long as they can, tire him out. He needs all the energy he can get to go up against Vasquez at the faceoff dot. This is good tactical work by Brian Cameron in his first year as head coach. Oh, that's a big windup by McGarry, and that kid's got game of his own. McGarry's ace in the hole, 2:56 on the clock. And that rights the ship temporarily for BG. They go back on top, 6-5, as we are now just under 3 minutes here in a very exciting game here at Exeter. Well, one thing we had our eyeball on was transition game today. And yeah, part of that includes the face-off wins and getting up and down in a hurry, but also the transition from defense to offense. BG has a lot of depth where most teams don't. And can they keep their fellas running? Those long poles can run, and they've got two long poles who can really shoot the lights out. So, boy, and there's a guy who can shoot the lights out right there. That's Cam Hayden. That big lefty wind up going from top right to top left to right if you're a goalie from my perspective. And Hayden's rip and grip right there makes it Bishop Guertin 7-5 at the 2:29 mark. So they took all that Exeter momentum generated from good defensive stands, couple of good face-offs, and then an EMO, and turn it right back at them. 2-goal lead after being knotted up at 5. Oh, and Vasquez, beautiful push right there, and then a beautiful goose gets it over to the Hunter Duwani on the wing right there. Duwani takes a beating. Like I told you, he's a very physical athlete. He takes a punishment, takes a second flag, and the refs are just going to whistle that one down. And Duwani is fired up for good reason, folks. I saw that when that kid was in 3rd and 4th grade, that he was going to be the athlete. And look at him rocking and rolling off the field. Gets a big hand from his teammates as he made something great happen. But Vasquez, with the cerebral ability to just knock that out to his side when he felt some pressure from behind and create a ground ball opportunity for his teammate. We're going to let the refs sort this out for us because there were 2 flags that flew. All right. So Will McElroy took both penalties off the face-off. It was a cross-check to the head was the first call. A cross-check to the head, if you saw the prayer signs go up over the referee's cap, that means it's locked in. That means, and then his second penalty was another cross-check. It was common, or it was a slash. So it's a common 1-minute personal foul that is added on to the 2 minutes. So the first 2 minutes of this 3-minute span, folks, will be locked in. That means it's 6-on-5 no matter what. BG can score 5 goals in that 2 minutes, and it'll still be man up. Once the 2 minutes lapses, it'll be just a common man up, and it'll be washed out if they score in between the 2nd minute mark and the 3rd minute. Huge penalty right now, and huge offensive opportunity, and scoring right away. They do that nice rotation where they drag the defense topside, break the shape of the zone defense, and Cam Hayden, that kid has got a left to right home about 8-5 for Bishop Guertin, and that only took off about 25 seconds of that first penalty, and they have a $1:35 left with which to work. 1:25 on the clock, 8-5 on the scoreboard. Cam Hayden leaving no doubt on that first opportunity. So you see there's nobody on the far wing. You do a man-down face-off. Oh, and that's kind of a weak pass across by Vasquez down to the dirt. And I think that was a Brian Cameron timeout. Yes, indeed it was. and that was a smart move by the first-year coach. Plenty of savvy with that fella. All right, Rich McDonough for the highlight guy. They're going to take 60+. We're going to do the same. See you in a few.
Hi, this is Deb Cody with the Dow Group at Keller Williams Coastal and Lakes and Mountains Realty. I have a passion for helping people, and I love to help people with their real estate goals, whether it's buying, selling, or investing. I'm licensed in New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and Maine, and work with an incredible team, the Dow Group, which has been the #1 real estate team in New Hampshire for the past several years. Collectively, the team has sold over $1 billion worth of real estate in the past 20 years. If you're curious to know what the local market is like in your area, feel free to reach out via my website, deb.thedowgroup.com, and let's get connected.
Hey, welcome back from timeout. Big timeout right there by Brian Cameron, the first-year head coach, and taking over the keys to the bus from his father, Chris Cameron, all-time winning coach in New Hampshire, multiple state titles, coach my son as well, and big shoes to fill, but I tell you what, Brian Cameron knows this game inside and out. I've seen him coach as an assistant, as a substitute head coach my son, and lots of other kids that we've coached together in Tomahawks. He's got mojo on the sidelines. He's also got an 8-5 lead at the 1:15 mark, and we're still a man up after the 3 minutes of penalties taken by Will McElroy on that last face-off. All right, BG now cutting everybody in a crisscross shape right there, trying to set up big windup by Owen King. That was deflected nicely. Oh, and a great trail check right there. Wow, by Colin Foley. He gets the ball back, gets it over to Ponto. Ponto going low to high, and they give it to Sean McGarry back there. They say number 4 was closest to the line. I'm not sure. Looked like the keeper, Ronan Wilbur, made a move right there. It was closest, but that's up to the fellas in black and white. All right, BG looking to create, 35 seconds on the clock. That's a good pass in tight. Everybody's looking behind the line, behind the goal line, that is, and the fast cutting right there was Beau Dubois, and he makes it 9-5. After being knotted up at 5, folks, BG kind of said, not right now. We're going to do what we know best, and that is go off to the races, play high octane, look for that pinpoint passing, and they got guys who can grip it and rip it wearing green. 9-5, 34.5 seconds left here in the second period. Still man down. The McElroy penalty holds. It doesn't get wiped out until the 2-minute mark. And Brian Cameron calls another timeout. I don't blame him for this one. 30 seconds left on the clock, and you want to draw something up if you're wearing green. I don't think they'll take too long. While we got the chance, let's talk about great partner of ours is Earth Tech Systems. It's a local premier green heating and cooling technology company. Their goal is to save you time and money. They specialize in geothermal HVAC systems. For your heating or cooling needs, contact the experts at earthtechsystems.com. No install or repair is too challenging for the experts in green HVAC technology. Great sponsor of ours. Help us get it done. Help us expand our coverage. We've been able to do that lately, Steve Cody. Steve Cody is the highlight guy. I'm Rich McDonough for thehighlightguy.com. We are available on YouTube. Just go to the Highlight Guy on search the Highlight Guy on YouTube. Hit subscribe. When you hit subscribe, it enables us to get a broader range of folks looking at our broadcasts. It's all there, saved on the channel, and you can go back and look at it, share with your family and friends. And the more we do with the more subscribers, the more we can do in the future, and it's a whole lot of fun for both of us as we get around the state of New Hampshire. We've done that pretty well already. I think we need some frequent driver miles. All right, well, back on offense after that TO by Brian Cameron for Bishop Guertin. They have 30 seconds with which to work. They're still a man up. Oh, that's a good pass in tight. Unable to handle it, though. Goes down to the deck, and the whistles ensue. And it looks like Matt Brewster called himself a timeout as his team just got possession at the end. That's a good timeout by Coach Brewster. All right, they're going to take 60. We're going to do the same. And for my man, Steve Cody, the highlight guy, this is Rich McDonough.
Hi, this is Ryan from Earth Tech Systems in Harvard, Massachusetts. taking a look at the first step of our geothermal installation. Let's go check it out.
And welcome back. Fellas haven't broken the huddle yet, but here we are back at Eustis Field. Fantastic game so far. Up and down the field, lots of heavy checking, lots of good passing. Terrific job at the face-off dot, but some silly penalties in the last few minutes by Exeter have taken a 5-5 game to 9-5 in favor of the defending champs. And right now it is Exeter with possession. And you'll see back, look at the football yard lines, 25, about the 25-yard line. Can't see from the side. Looks like it's Lazowitz. We'll try to get a read on that jersey. Very fast physical player. Yeah, it is Marshall Lazowitz. And you can see that speed right there. His first step was terrific. He got out the gate. We're at 10 seconds and counting as Lazowitz carries. They're still man down. And this is important. They've got possession. That means they'll have a face-off. And that'll wind us out of our first half. Lazowitz does his job. He had plenty of gas in the tank because he's been off the field. There's a flag on the field as we exit the first half, and we'll stick around and see what the refs do with that laundry. And again, we're going to leave the first half. It's 9-5 unless they're picking it up. I don't see any sign that they're going to pick it up. It's all left from the signal from the sidelines. And that happens. I jinxed him. It's Hunter Duane, number 23. I mentioned how athletic he is. He's so athletic he couldn't slow down with all that speed. So 30-second penalty for being offsides. That'll go against BG as we start the half. If that is the ruling the way it goes, it looks like Exeter should start with possession to get us going in the second half. Nevertheless, we're taking 10 minutes. That's the halftime here in New Hampshire in high school rules. 9-5, Bishop Guertin, Rich McDonough for the highlight guy. We'll see you on the other side.
Meet Bouvier Prepare, your game changer in college athletics recruitment. We cut through the chaos, focusing on superb communication and top-notch organization. One-on-one attention, tailored strategies, and a winning game plan for emails, calls, camps, visits, and offer closings. Be prepared. Your limitless future starts now with Bouvier Prepare.
Hi, this is Deb Cody with the Dow Group at Keller Williams Coastal and Lakes and Mountains Realty. I have a passion for helping people, and I love to help people with their real estate goals, whether it's buying, selling, or investing. I'm licensed in New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and Maine, and work with an incredible team, the Dow Group, which has been the #1 real estate team in New Hampshire for the past several years. Collectively, the team has sold over $1 billion worth of real estate in the past 20 years. If you're curious to know what the local market is like in your area, feel free to reach out via my website, deb.thedowgroup.com, and let's get connected.
Hi, this is Terry Queenan from Earth Tech Systems Geothermal. We're in Nashua, New Hampshire today. We just finished putting geothermal in this historical home built in 1937. Let's go in and check it out. We're now inside the house. These are the two well lines coming in. There's one 500-foot borehole. This is the piping. This is the flow center that moves the water to the geothermal unit, which is over here. This is a very simple, high-efficiency system made by water furnace. This is the return duct, and we have the unit in place here. This is the water furnace 7 series that's in this home. This is the return air filter. Those are the pipes coming from the non-pressurized flow center. The blower is on the top, the compressor's on the bottom. Very quiet machine. This is a storage tank that makes very warm water. The water goes from this point into an on-demand tankless when there's a call for showers, cooking, etc. So not only is the customer going to save an immense amount of money, they're going from about a $1,300 a year oil bill to be on target right now for about a $300 geothermal bill, and the well is directly under me. If you'd like to learn more, check us out on our website, earthtechsystems.com.
Are you looking to play sports in college? Almost every college recruiting website recommends having a highlight video as one of the top 3 crucial recruiting tools. In fact, 93% of college coaches we surveyed said they watch a recruit's highlight video as part of their player assessments. Our sole purpose is to make you look good. Our highlight videos include an athlete bio and accolade page, stop motion, and player highlight. The video is not done until you are completely satisfied and say it's done. We also upload to YouTube or whatever recruiting platform you use. The highlight guy can also film your high school or club games to capture you in action, resulting in amazing footage that you can use to help create your highlight video. We have the expertise to help you get recruited. Check out our website at thehighlightguy.com or contact Steve at thehighlightguy.com to get started on your path to playing sports in college.
Hi, this is Ryan from Earth Tech Systems in Harvard, Massachusetts, taking a look at the first step of our geothermal installation. Let's go check it out.
And welcome back to Exeter, New Hampshire, and Exeter High School. Bill Ball Stadium, Eustace Field, where we have the defending champ Bishop Guertin's wearing green and gold coming in here, 4-time defending champs. And it was a back and forth game in the first half. BG is up 9-5. It was 5-5 after a kind of game of mini runs. BG was up 3-0. Exeter cut it down. BG went back up a bit. Exeter cut it down, and they knotted it up at 5-5 in the second quarter, and then took a dumb penalty, a couple of them, and BG was able to go a man up unreleased, and they capitalized, and they went from 5-5 to 9-5 in a hurry. So we've got our third frame of 4 tonight, unless we head to overtime. But 12 minutes on the clock, 9-5 on the board. And because there was a BG penalty, it was a pushing offsides call to Hunter Duwani right there. Exeter starts with the ball on possession and on offense. So it's a dead ball foul as time lapsed. And that's the rule, folks. You do that, you cede possession. All right, Exeter. We're playing 5-on-5 because that first that penalty to McElroy is not released right now. So BG will run that off. We had Hunter Duwani's penalty has now lapsed. And onto the field comes Warren and McGarry, a couple of Hollis New Hampshire products, wearing number 22 and number 4 respectively. And that's a good pass inside and a real good save. Going down, getting his blade low was Ronan Wilbur. Good job by the junior goalkeeper. 11 minutes on the clock. That is a monster save right there because BG had one last gasp at that man-up opportunity. Nothing doing. And back on the clear go the Bluehawks. Harassing defense. Oh, and they get him in the squeeze. Picking it up right there was Duwani, who had that push. He feeds it in tight, looking for the lefty cannon, and another Wilbur save, getting that blade down low and gnarly. Number 28 between the pipes for the Bluehawks comes up big again. He has had 4 or 5 dynamic saves, folks. Terrific goaltending. Goalie to goalie kid, great job. And we got a whistle at 10:19, and still looking to create and hold on to the ball and getting harassed and man down, excuse me, are the Bluehawks. So at 10:19, we got our first break. That'll give us our first time in the second half, our third quarter here, to talk about some partners and ourselves. So stay up to date with all the Highlight Guys' upcoming live streams. Subscribe to YouTube, the YouTube channel today. Hit search right there, look up the Highlight Guy, and never miss out on the games you want to see. Just go to YouTube, search the Highlight Guy, hit subscribe. We thank you in advance. As I've said a couple times, when you hit subscribe, we get more people looking at things, and we can get a little bit more mojo and get out in the field more and broadcast more and more NHIAA games. And man, it's a lot of fun. And we've covered multiple divisions together. Steve Cody is the Highlight Guy. I'm Rich McDonough, and we love doing this. And the more we can do together, the more fun we have, and the more kids get some good exposure in all their hard work out on the athletic fields and courts all over New Hampshire. All right, again, 10:19 on the clock after that timeout. Good timeout, I thought, by Matt Brewster. We are finally in settled offense, even up, and I'll tell you, Brewster sensing that his kids were out of gas after running down that last big timeout sequence, courtesy of McElroy. He had the 2-minute non-releasable and then a 1-minute slash slapped on top of it, so it's consecutively issued. All right, now getting into something of a weave out top. That's Marshall Lazowitz. Ran the clock out at halftime, well done, and he takes a pass on the wing, gets topside, a big sweep from the left, puts it in that lefty cannon, and number 11 finds the back of the twine to end this scoring run by Bishop Guertin. Make it 9-6 with 10:04 on the clock. Lazowitz with a real good catch and an even better drive topside. That sweep is deadly. His first step, he got out. There was once he blew by the hips on the BG defense, it was all over. Tons of real estate inside. And the talented guy who's going to Air Force took advantage of it. Little violation right there by Vasquez on the draw. and automatically that goes right over to the fellows in white. Another valuable timeout for Exeter, time of possession here for Exeter. 9:50 on the clock, trailing by 3, and looking to create, chop one of those 3 goals off the lead. Long drive from topside. We've seen him do it a few times. That's Tyler Bland, senior attacker. Got some good wheels. Here comes Lazowitz, plenty of speed. Slide comes, and finds himself defended by Noah Guerrera. Guerrera chops it down to the dirt with that butt check right there. Good job. And Guerrera himself finds some speed. Tries to get it out in front of him. It's too far out there for Dunsmore. As good a runner as Dunsmore is, he couldn't catch up to that one. BG plays the miss, and they keep possession. That's a good knockdown right there. Real good knockdown by Jackson LaRanger. And we got a procedure call. Thing is playing without the stick right there. You drop your stick briefly. You got to pick it up and get back into the action before you play physical ball. 9 minutes even here. 9-6 on the scoreboard. Exeter dodging a couple bullets, getting it back on offense and looking to create. Nice job right there by Bland to get around his man. That one, moonball, goes in. Finds its way all the way to Jonah Feliciano, who gives a nice outlet pass far side going down the left alley. Good job right there by Tyler McLeod. All right, BG getting its substitutions coming in. 8:35 on the clock. And they're getting their first settled offense in this second half. Always a good idea to give it up to Beau Dubois right there, and he's got the ball right now way high, 25 yards out from the cage, looking to set up some sort of speed dodge. Ooh, that just missed the cage and goes harmlessly behind if you're the goalie, kind of crossing yourself right there. Ponto picks it up, looking to hit for his turn to create, and yet another knockdown right there. Good job again by LaRanger. He's showing the LaRanger has plenty of range with that pole. Great hand-eye coordination, knockdown drills galore, certainly from Matt Brewster and his staff. Oh, big windup with the left hand. That's Cam Hayden once again. Again, he's going to Penn State. They're top 10 in D1, and we've seen how much of a cannon. I mean, that is up there with Brady Dumont on the cannon phase. Brady Dumont, the All-American who graduated last year, plying his trade at Villanova. Kid I got to coach in Tomahawks, great family. His brother Alex, twin brother Alex, playing at Loyola, and their little sister Ella playing for BG. Whoa, that's a big windup right there by Beau Dubois. But Ella Dumont, terrific player at sophomore, is going to get all kinds of all-state consideration right there. She's got the DNA. Oh, big windup right there. Everything's big. And a big windup right now. That was Owen King that time. Misses wide and high. 7:24 on the clock. BG keeps pounding it and keeps getting looks. Again, as I said in the first quarter right there, it's about getting some looks. Just like basketball, hockey, get good looks at the cage. They don't all go in, but eventually, boom! And another big high bounce shot right there out of Cam Hayden. Eventually, you're going to drop one in the bucket. Keep possession like this. Defense will run out of gas, and you'll get your chance. BG in a 1-3, kind of an athletic 1-3. They flex into something more of a 1-4. Looking to pick inside, pick away, and top. Man, it's a mumbo. McGarry takes a look at it, finds the elevating Ponto. Nothing doing right there. Big swat onto Ponto, no call. BG bench wanted one, didn't get it. Ponto has it back. Tons of room. Almost had his man hung up right there. Here's McGarry using his own man as a. You could see it coming. Once Jackson LaRanger approached, he went topside toward the glove, got his stick up toward the glove and or the shaft, and once he got in the goalie's way, you could see McGarry read that and let it rip. Number 4 gets himself in the back of the net, and it's 10-6. At the 6:33 mark here in our third quarter. Savvy play by number 4, Sean McGarry, talented junior attacker. Father played at Alfred. New York DNA right there. Good old Jeff McGarry. Dial him up if you want some gratis Warrior goods. 6 minutes here in the third quarter. BG up by 4. Got to play some D right here. Exeter. If you're Exeter, you know you don't want to hurry, but you don't want to play sloppy. But you got to do something. This one is a big pass, goes way wide, and trying to pick it up the loose change in the background in the corner. Good job there by Lasowitz. Such quick feet. He's able to corral it in the corner, gets D'd up right there by McLeod. Elevates north a bit. Once he turns that corner, he had a little bit of an angle, probably not too much. Smartly holding his pipe was Jonah Feliciano. He inherits big shoes with the goalie contingent. Kind of like Miami's been goalie U. BG has been goalie high. Lots of great goalies, lots of great players everywhere, but they've had a string of awesome goaltenders. All right, McGarry, who just got himself on the second goal of the day, just gives it up out top, gets it back here on the left wing. And as we hit the 5-minute mark. Oh, that's a great head fake. Good pull-up. Wow. The crowd responds. That was just a terrific jab step, head fake, fake shot, and then Owen King brought it back, took 2 more steps, left no doubt. Number 1 puts it in the back of the net. It's 11-6. 4:53 on the clock here in the third quarter. Owen King has a terrific windup, and once that thing's cocked way back there, you just cannot see where the release point. As a goalie, that release point is hard to diagnose when it goes that far back, and his release point was fantastic. Can't see it until it's at least half a foot or more out of the net. Oh, and a big windup of his own. The speedy Alex Scott. I mentioned him before. That kid's got wheels. And Alex Scott, just when it looks like BG's wanting to pull away, of course they want to pull away. Alex Scott shows some wheels, gets down topside, goes a sweep right-handed across the top of the field. 4:35 on the clock, and he shaves that momentary 5-goal lead down to 4 for Exeter. Keep your eye on number 3 with all that speed. Probably a push in there tight from behind. Yep, it was a push. Yeah, that ball squirts away from you. Don't overcook the grits. They're going to call that push every time because the ref is already on top of the play. All right, 4:19 on the clock, 11-7 on the scoreboard. Exeter repelling that last goal by BG and keeping it close enough. Give yourself a chance. Momentarily unable to control that one was Redfern. He gets it back into the flow and gets it behind at X with Ponto. McGarry took a look at it and then got back up top. He's wide open now. If he does it again, that's a good closeout right there by LaRanger. This time he doesn't offer us a screen. He runs right to the head of that stick. Hurts, but great job, young man. Well, I think it was momentarily tipped right there by Griffin Lechner. If you know the name Lechner, his brother Garrett Lechner is doing great things at Wesleyan, and the Cardinals are a top 10 team in D3 in NESCAC. I've covered one of their games, and he can play. Big 6'4" guy, All-American, and under Coach Reba down there, he's got terrific guidance, and he's got a bunch of good players. Reba, the coach's son, CK Giancola, All-Americans abound in Wesleyan. They're going to have to contend with number 1 Tufts. I get to see them this weekend as I call the NESCAC quarterfinals. Should be fun down there at Medford. Calling the women's game at noon. Men's game at 3 o'clock at Bellow Field. All right, 2:50 here on the clock. BG is up 11-7, 4-time defending champs. Feeling the mojo. This one's too low for McGarry, but once again it kind of dies off the stick and able to corral it as Ponto in the corner gets it back to McGarry. They look to set up shop as they get it up through Dubois. Now they reverse the field, a little bit of an over-under game right there. Dubois got it back, and he's got a good windup. Does a head fake right there. This time nobody home. Ooh, boy, that's tough. It looked like Wilbur was all over that and closest to the ball, but it's up to the ref. The rule is whoever is closest to the ball, at the spot it goes out. Not the end line. At the spot it goes over the end line or the sideline if it's a shot. And at the moment it goes out of bounds, that is possession. Feed in tight, ricochets up top. Wilbur's able to corral it at the back of his crease. For a moment, looked out, thought better of it, goes out the back door and gets the sensible clear going. We're just under 2 minutes here. Oh, that's an errant pass right there. McGarry's got it. He's looking to play tic-tac-goal. And unless things go wrong, there's Ponto with the closeout. If you give Michael Ponto the ball that close, in tight, and is a good feed, a heady play all around, way to play the miss. First feed was good. Second feed even better. There's an old maxim. The scorer is frequently 2 passes away from the ball carrier. You saw that. Prima facie evidence of that old maxim right there. Good job by BG. Classic lacrosse right there. 1:48 on the clock, and BG gets back to a 5-goal lead. All right, Exeter able to win this face-off, get their changes going inside. First time we've been able to call him. Gabriel Cini is coming in for BG on defense. He wears number 33, short stick D mid. Exeter way out as they get their personnel changes in. Now give it to Lazowitz. He's kind of the quarterback. Smart player, fast. Does all the things right. He plays glue player, not just a, point scorer headed for D1, but he does a lot of those lunch bucket kind of things. Pass goes errant, deflects off somebody in the inside. Picking it up there and tight was Guerrera, and he gets it over. BG kind of stuck in traffic right now is Steinbrook, also a quarterback and a multi-way player on the BG quarterback. Andre Steinbrook able to control that. That one sails over the head of the BG midfielder down there, attackman. I couldn't see who it was. It's Owen King. Owen King couldn't leap that high, couldn't grow a foot longer on the arm. 38 seconds left on the third quarter clock here. Exeter takes that turnover unforced and looking to clear it. That's a good handle in tight. We've said it, Alex Scott, number 3, can run. He can flat out run. He runs through traffic right there, and a good save down low with that windmill rotation, folks. Good job right there. Oh, and BG's able to dump that one in with 3.8 seconds left. Tick-tack goal. That's Liam Connerty. We mentioned goalie U the other day. His brother Zach now playing D1 himself in the cage, but Liam gets himself on the board. Hey, and while we got a chance, let's talk about Bouvier Prepare. Bouvier Prepare provides comprehensive college recruiting consulting services for student athletes and their families. If you're looking for guidance in the process for lacrosse, field hockey, soccer, volleyball, Bouvier Prepare can provide a personalized plan for success. Contact them at bouvierprepare@gmail.com or 603-465-1102. And as we round out the third quarter with BG up 13-7 now, if you like what you're seeing and hearing on our live stream and you think you'd like to join up and advertise with the Highlight Guy or just want more information, contact Steve at thehighlightguy.com. They're going to take 2 minutes. We're going to do the same. Rich McDonough for the Highlight Guy. Glad to be with you here at Exeter.
Are you looking to play sports in college? Almost every college recruiting website recommends having a highlight video as one of the top 3 crucial recruiting tools. In fact, 93% of college coaches we surveyed said they watch a recruit's highlight video as part of their player assessments. Our sole purpose is to make you look good. Our highlight videos include an athlete bio and accolade page, stop motion, and player highlight. The video is not done until you are completely satisfied and say it's done. We also upload to YouTube or whatever recruiting platform you use. The Highlight Guy can also film your high school or club games to capture you in action, resulting in amazing footage that you can use to help create your highlight video. We have the expertise to help you get recruited. Check out our website at thehighlightguy.com or contact Steve at thehighlightguy.com to get started on your path to playing sports in college.
Meet Bouvier Prepare, your game changer in college athletics recruitment. We cut through the chaos, focusing on superb communication and top-notch organization. One-on-one attention, tailored strategies, and a winning game plan for emails, calls, camps, visits, and offer closings. Be prepared. Your limitless future starts now with Bouvier Prepare.
All right, welcome back here to Exeter, New Hampshire for our final of 4 frames, we think, unless Exeter mounts a ferocious comeback. They find themselves down 13-7 to the 4-time defending champ Bishop Guetin Cardinals. Again, Rich McDonough here with the highlightguy.com. Happy to be with you, bringing you NHIAA D1 Lacrosse. Pretty good face-off effort by Will McElroy. Goes all for naught as the loose ball goes over to Paolo Vasquez. He didn't win it clean, but you ultimately get a little bit of revenge on that one. Even though they won the initial draw, did the Bluehawks. Back to green and gold we go. Up 6, looking for more. Still got a plethora of starters in. Everybody on the offensive end for BG was an initial starter. Right now handling it is Owen King. He's got that killer lefty right there, but he's forced to go across the top of the offense there. Good defense by Junior Pascal. Goes in tight, hits the deck, and really coming out with it in a hurry was Tyler Bland. And he gets over midfield line in a hurry. Great job by 32. Tyler Bland got all the way downfield. Now he's in the offensive set. They've got their speed guys out there right now, do the Exeter Bluehawks. I think anytime they're on defense or in transition, you're going to see number 3 and number 32 run in the field. Just got to leave it out there on the turf today. That's a good run, driving the near post, and unable to convert right there was Patrick Hathaway. Again, he was all D1 second team last year. You saw that step and his speed and athleticism, and that's why. He's got the ball back right now. Defended by Colin Foley, yet another one of those senior captains. As I said, 6 of them for BG this year. Oh, that's a good dodge right there. And looked like Feliciano made a good save in tight. Can't do this one. He tries to get his stick opposite low. And Bluehawk goal at 10-11. That sure helps a lot. You're down 6. You got to do something in a hurry. And less than 2 minutes in here in our 4th quarter, folks, the Bluehawks trim the lead to 13-8. That was a pretty good sequence right there for the Bluehawks. They needed that, like you read about. And back to the dot we go. This is when Vasquez gets a little bit angry. The eyes get a little bloodshot, and he goes to work carrying his wares to play down in Maryland in D1 next year. He's a good player, powerfully built athlete, hits the weights, and it shows up in his stats. Coach Cameron thought he should shoot for 80% tonight. He was down near 60 against St. John's Prep Danvers, and he's had a good night tonight. But I tell you, Will McElroy, he's got game. We thought it might be a good battle coming into the game. I asked both coaches about it. They agreed. Oh, and there's a big cross, topside, and a big windup by McGarry, unable to, he hits pipe. That one was so hard, the pipe rocked backwards. And those pipes are made of iron, folks, so when it tips backwards a couple inches, you got some serious sizzle on that shot. Oh, that's a good carry in tight with a mini face dodge right there, and finishing off that beautiful run by Beau Dubois. And number 20 gets himself yet another goal. That'll make it 14-8, and we're at 9:11 left on the clock here in the 4th at Eustis Field. And Exeter got that nice goal early, and BG with a pretty good possession, couple looks, able to bury one, courtesy of number 20, Beau Dubois, bound for Lemoyne. Back to the dot we go. Vasquez gooses it way back right there. Picking it up is Hunter Duwani. Hard ragging right there by Junior Pascal. Duwani's athletic and fast enough to handle that stuff all day long. And he gets off the field. Fogo means face off and get off. Jack Redford, number 41, comes in, gets his action. Bishop Guertin got a couple of new faces coming into the game right now. Jackson Warren, again, he's the youngest of the several Warren kids who've played here at Bishop Guertin and for me in the Hollis Brookline Youth Lac system. Great kids, awesome family. Their mom's a terrific teacher at Bishop Guertin as well. All right, BG, not in any hurry here, but you don't want to take yourself out of rhythm. You got some young faces in there right now, getting some reps with some older guys. You want to get them high-quality looks, run your offensive set, and get into rhythm so we can teach each other this game. Consequently, as you go through the course of the season, you'll have a deeper team. That's a good catch and feed. Can't get it. Good defense in there, blocking off that shot. Flags are flying, and I think we're going to have a personal foul to one of the Cardinals right here as Junior Pascal hits the deck. Looks like he needed a repair or two, but he's all right. I've been watching him play. He's a tough kid. And number 1 for the Bluehawks comes gingerly jogging off the field. Looks like he'll be just fine. And yeah, it was a cross check, and I didn't see it, but it was a cross check to the head. And that goes to Drew Redfern. And, folks, they called it. It was severe enough. So in the helmet, you're going to take care of safety issues first if you're a referee. And like I said earlier, I am a referee, coach, and a goalie, which means I'm completely certifiable. But none of these guys are certifiable. And they're looking after the safety and well-being of our kids. That is a 2-minute locked-in penalty. If you cross-check to the helmet, expect it. All right, so 6-on-5, 2 minutes, and it's full serve. Locked in, that's what that means. That's a good feed inside. It drifts inside toward the crease. Able to pick that. That's a great pluck off the carpet right there by Andre Steinbrook. He's an awesome athlete, and he's got the ball back. He uses his goalie to create a 2-on-1. Nice job. Feliciano's got to come out of the cage, give that ball up, and I think that might be a Cameron timeout right there. Yeah, it is a Cameron timeout. Before we break, let me tell you about Earth Tech Systems, which is a local premier green heating and cooling technology company. Their goal is to save you time and money. They specialize in geothermal HVAC systems. For your heating or cooling needs, contact the experts at earthtechsystems.com. No install or repair project is too challenging for the experts in green HVAC technology. Real quick break, we'll do that too. Rich McDonough with the highlight guy. See you on the backside.
Hi, this is Ryan from Earth Tech Systems in Harvard, Massachusetts, taking a look at the first step of our geothermal installation. Let's go check it out.
All right, welcome back from that timeout. They took a short one here, so we did too. And before we get going, are you looking to play sports in college? If yes, let the highlight guy help you get noticed and recruited. We create highlight videos, film sporting events, live stream, and all with the goal of helping athletes get noticed by college coaches. With the highlight guy, you are the star. So let us help you. Go to thehighlightguy.com or email Steve at thehighlightguy.com to get started. I sure wish I'd had Steve Cody, my buddy, the highlight guy, when I was back playing high school ball in Connecticut, trying to get noticed. The only way people found us was through the papers and letters back then. All right, 7:15 on the clock. Still got a locked-in penalty on BG. And Hunter Duwani, you want to give it to that guy. He can fly, and he can run all day. So he's going to take a bunch of checks, takes the abuse, keeps coming. He's the Energizer Bunny. Got to tuck that stick a little better, Hunter D. He's a good player. I've known him since he was a little kid. Mom and I are good friends. Nice kid, terrific family. And you saw the athleticism right there. He's a one-man clear, one-man punt return, and he's one-man possession. All right, Sean McGarry, Karen, he can do the same thing. He's kind of built like Hunter Duwani, both strong athletes. Not the tallest guys on the planet, but boy, hearts, hearts, hearts. All right, carrying the ball down is Beau Dubois. Was taking a look at that real estate inside, thought better of it. Still got that 2-minute locked-in penalty. Probably about 45 seconds remaining on that one. BG's got to just run this out, get it down close, even if you don't get a look or possession. And if you got about 10, 15 seconds left, maybe even just 9-iron wedge to the corner and let the clock run out on that. Get your gas. That is a hard hit up top. And this thing went over. That's a good check right there by Alex Scott. This kid's showing me all kinds of game. Number 3, he's got the ball back, and he's got time to create. Oh, feeds inside right there. Good rollback by Hathaway. Hathaway misses, and it goes wide. 5:51 on the clock. 14-8 on the scoreboard. BG, the penalty was just released. So BG did a lot of good things chewing up that clock. Couldn't hang on to it off that great check. Big windup right there by Jackson Green. All-stater from last year. Couldn't make that one connect. All right, you're Exeter. You're down 6 with 5:35 in your home field under the lights here. There's a good guy to go topside is Tyler Bland. We've seen him doing it all game, but taking some punishment inside the BG defense. Ball goes to the ground, and the hunt is on. I tell you what, not going to go in any book other than just the ground ball. That is an awesome ground ball, man ball by Colin Foley. He drove his man off the ball, said release, picked it up, wheeled around 180, and they got that beautiful diagonal crossfield pass to get it down near the 50-yard line and over half field where BG's able to set up shop. Wonderful job by number 8 in green and gold right there. Yet another senior captain. All right, Brian Cameron, his first season, he's now subbing on some fresh faces on the D end. Owen goes right to work. Pretty good climbing the fence right there by Ponto. Couple more inches on that. He could dunk. All right, carrying hard is Dubois. Takes a look at it, gets it bouncing it outside, and fires it over to McGarry, but back to Dubois. Looking to create big windup right there. Doesn't find anybody but number 5, Griffin Lechner. Ouch. That's what ice packs are for. 4 minutes even, folks. 4 minutes even, and it's 14-8 to Bishop Guertin. Again, 4-time defending champs. Looking like they got some mojo for this season, too. All right, that's an errant pass, but probably a pretty good lift check in there by Junior Pascal. We've gotten to call his name a few times in the second half, showing he's got game as well. Now carrying the ball inside is Hathaway. Hathaway's met with some good resistance right there, has to give the ball up. Carrying around topside is Green. Seen him do that a couple times today. Yard sale. Ball goes down, stick goes down. BG goes down to the other end of the field. Getting it chopped away briefly was Zeman. Eli Zeman. His father is a fellow ref. BG retains possession, and they're looking to wind this thing out. I think the glow plugs on the bus are getting warmed up right now. Carrying it hard behind is Redfern. Gets it behind the X. Climbing the trees again is McGarry. So these fellas at X at BG have been challenged to get up high. This one goes up high itself, goes over the head of Ponto and over the midline, and consequently it's going to be over and back. 2:53 on the clock. 14-8, staring down that 6-goal margin. Exeter Bluehawks got to put something down right now, and I mean the gas pedal. I said earlier, you don't want to rush. You want to go quickly, but you don't want to rush. Now you just got to go quickly, take some chances. See if you can chop this down to a couple goals and give yourself a 4-goal margin with maybe a minute and 45 seconds. But you got to win faceoffs every single time. Here comes Laswitz going down the alley, puts it in his left, misses wide right. 2:19 on the clock. 14-8 on the scoreboard. Here comes a pick, setting up shop right there, denied. Hathaway getting north of GLE. Really good lift checking right there. Holy cow, that is a terrific job. Who was that? That's Don Bellino. I met his mom earlier. She's watching. She was spreading out the Highlight Guys channel. Thank you to the Bellino family. All right, BG's got the ball back. And we got a turnover. Yeah, they started earlier. Maybe put his foot on the line was Owen King. All right, here come the speed merchants. Here comes Graham Knight, short stick D-mid, but he's going to have to stay in for a rotation right here. Can't do traditional anything at this point. Knight picks and then releases and goes over midfield line. You got to make your substitutions faster than that if you're Exeter. $1:35 on the clock, down 6. Lazowitz missed. He couldn't connect with the ball early on. No push. In traffic. Everybody hitting the deck. Refs say play on. With possession, probably it could be a trip. They're going to say loose ball. I don't know how that was loose. The only reason it was loose was because of the trip. All right, the refs see what they see, and they call what they call. Carrying it away here is Tommy Canaway. If you know that name, we got quarterbacks and Canaways all over the place in Nashua. All right, we do have flags on the field. That means probably a delayed offside penalty on the Bluehawks. If there's a loss of possession, we'll have a whistle and one last man up. And BG probably content to run this one out. They'll play keep away. They don't want to stop the clock. 42 seconds. And there we got a blatant push and another flag, and this time we will have 2 penalties coming, possibly a third and fourth. We'll sort this out. While they're sorting it out, if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, Deb Cody from the Dow Group at Keller Williams Coastal is a luxury realtor. She is licensed in Maine, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and can assist you with your real estate goals. The Dow Group is the #1 real estate team in New Hampshire. Contact Deb at 603-945-2763 or email deb@thedowgroup.com. Let's wait for the sort out to come. So we got 3 penalties on that play. We got a 1-minute slash that's going to go against Kerrigan for the Bluehawks. We have a 30-second push to Graham Knight for the Bluehawks. And then to finish off all that action, a dead ball foul on Drew Redfern. And it was unsportsmanlike, and it's the worst kind. It's a 3-minute locked-in penalty, but we only have 36 seconds left. So after all that laundry flew, we got ourselves a mini conclave right there, and we finally got ourselves a verdict. So you play even, well, if this, let's say there were 5 minutes, you play even strength while those first penalties, they're served concurrently. So because of the dead ball foul, it's Exeter playing 4-on-5. And if we had plenty of time, Exeter's first penalty with lapse after a minute, then, or the concurrent 30-second call with lapse, and then with the minute penalty, and then Exeter would play 2 minutes locked in, man up. Not so when you have 36 seconds on the clock and it's 14-8. And it's all over but the crying. That shot went way wide, goes over the back line, and Jonah Feliciano is able to start to kill the clock here. 10 seconds. And all you need is 20 to get it over, so he can just kill the clock. And I'll tell you, that's a good snapback for the 4-time defending champions under their new head coach, Brian Cameron, no stranger to the sidelines of Bishop Guertin, especially for Camerons. But in a back-and-forth game that was tied at 5-5 at one point and then had Exeter try to creep back in the lead, BG on the strength of a couple of man-up goals when it needed it most in the third quarter, flexes its muscle and comes out here at Exeter with a 14-8 lead, up 6, and it was going away. All right, looking up next for Bishop Guertin. They're at number 7, Merrimack. Then they're at Wyndham. and then they're home against Concord on April 29th. For their part, Exeter, they're at Cape Elizabeth to play the always competitive Capers, and then they're home against North, and then they're at number 6 Portsmouth, D2 school, but better than most schools in New Hampshire. Chad Vischer's guys are ready to fly. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this broadcast, thehighlightguy.com. Check them out on YouTube. Check them out on thehighlightguy.com, and subscribe wherever you can so we can do more of this work for you. My buddy Steve Cody is the Highlight Guy, doing all the production, audio, spinning the dials here, making everything possible. My name's Rich McDonough. I'm so glad to be with you. We are looking forward to doing more action next week. Tune in. Thanks, everybody.